Hello and welcome to Mission Nonprofit. I'm your host, Robert Kim, the Public Access Manager for TCTV. On Mission Nonprofit, we feature a local nonprofit organization from Thurston County, and we have a new episode each month. It airs on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. and Sundays at 4:30 p.m., only on TCTV Channel 22. With me this month is David Stickland, the Team Development Chair for Thurston County Relay for Life, and which is a branch of the American Cancer Society. So, can you tell me the story of how Relay for Life began?
Sure. There a doctor up in Tacoma,
Yep.
Dr. Gordon Klatt, decided he was a big fan of Prefontaine back in the day in 1985, and decided there were patients he was serving that weren't getting enough funds and weren't getting treatment the way he wanted to. So what he decided to do was go out to the track by the University of Puget Sound, and he was going to run all night and try to raise awareness. And it caught on from there. It's Relay for Life has become the largest nonprofit fundraiser in the world, and it's the principal fundraiser for the American Cancer Society.
And you told me it's in 27 different countries.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah. Over 20. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did the American Cancer Society take on the Relay for Life after, what was his name?
Dr. Klatt?
Dr.
Well,
Klatt,
and
sorry.
that's where the money went to. That's where he,
Okay, so he
was
gave it
raising
to-
money for research.
All right.
But they were really the principal fundraiser or funders of research back in the 80s, and he really wanted to make sure that money was getting back to the patients in some way. And there were just plenty of different research projects out there that needed to be funded.
And so that was, I had, that happened in 1985, the very first Relay for
Yep.
Life. Here in Thurston County, you guys have been doing it for 20 years
Over
now?
20 years now, yeah.
And let's go over with the audience what exactly a Relay for Life is.
Sure. Relay is a overnight event, and it's a family and team-based event. So groups of 8 to 15 people, whether they're people you work with, people in your family, people from social groups in town, they get together and they form up a team, and they decide how much money they want to raise for the American Cancer Society and their mission. And we all get together in the summer and camp out on a track at a high school. This year it's going to be at Black Hills High School at the end of June. And as long as one person from the team is on the track at all times, we're relaying. So
Right.
what you end up seeing is last year we had over 67 teams all camped out around the track all night. We do a big celebration in the very beginning. So the first people to take the first lap are the survivors. Yeah. And then the caregivers follow behind them. They're the people that are with those survivors during their battle against cancer.
Nice.
As the sun goes down into the night, we do a luminaria ceremony to honor those people who have passed or are surviving cancer and their battle. And we keep walking all night until later the next day we go full 24 hours.
How long does the survivors lap go?
It's the first lap, and
It's just one lap.
yeah, and we give
and
the
then-
survivors all a T-shirt, a special purple one, to honor them as a survivor. And everyone comes out around the track and claps and cheers them on. Is the reason that we're out there relaying.
That's inspiring that they get applause and everything. I'm sure that makes them feel good.
Yeah, I mean, we try to make it a celebration for them. Relay is really a celebration in the fight against cancer.
Definitely.
Anything from free massages to, dinner for the survivors. We want to make it like a big deal for them, because it is a big deal.
And you yourself are a cancer survivor, so you probably will be in the first lap.
I have been. Depends.
Okay.
With the committee we have a lot going on, so I mean I may be
You might have
putting
some
out
work to do.
Yeah, but I do try to take the survivor lap.
Okay.
I was diagnosed when I was a young boy, 11, 12 years old. So at the end of right before I turned 12, actually, I was diagnosed with cancer and went through a year and a half of treatment.
Well, congratulations
Thank
on,
you very
on
much.
a successful recovery.
Yeah.
The luminary event when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of candles
Yes.
in paper bags with sand in them and names
Yes.
written on victims.
Yes.
Victims of cancer.
People who have passed of cancer, but also people who have survived as a way to honor them and their fight.
So it's also survivors.
So you do have people taking bags. We get together and meet once a month with the team captains. So all the team captains get together and we start letting them have those luminaria bags, and people decorate them and put pictures on them. You know, you'll see multiples for different people. Just a way for someone to honor their mom's current fight against, you know, whether it's lymphoma or breast cancer, or, you know, whether it's to, you know, honor dad in his fight against prostate cancer, or a brother. And it's just a really personal way for everyone to, you know, we turn the lights out and we take, you know, an hour or, you know, of just time where people are taking laps around the track and they're walking with the lights of luminaria bags lighting their way. And it's a really peaceful and wonderfully emotional moment.
Now, I was looking at your website, and I noticed, well, let's go ahead and tell the viewers what the website is, and it is relayforlifeofthurston.org, so they can look at that and get some more information. But I did notice there on link for the Luminari that you could email somebody a name of a victim or survivor of cancer, and will they put it on a bag? Yeah, and you know, we do take names. Not everyone's able to come out to Black Hills, but we encourage people to do that, even if it's just to walk in the survivor lap or to come out for the luminaria ceremony. But you know, if you're wanting to honor somebody that's, you know, if you're not able to be in Thurston County and you want to honor somebody, or you want to honor somebody who's lives somewhere else, it's a great way to just get online and send an email off to somebody, and we'll have a bag made for that person at the event. My stepmother passed away from breast cancer, and I sent her name to the luminary. Oh, thank you. So people can come and go. They don't have to go and camp out if they wanted to just participate in the luminary or the survivor walk. They don't have to stay there overnight if they can't. You know, we encourage and we love to see people join teams, and we love to see our teams stay all night. But, you know, everybody, you know, if you bring your kids out, obviously, you know, they're going to get tired and they're going to want to sleep in their own bed. So a lot of times those people take their families home. You know, they are big enough teams to where if you're involved in the event, you know, you have a couple of people that can be the night owls, and, you know, people do shifts. So we don't lock anybody in. And we want to encourage everyone, even if they're not involved in the fundraising aspect. It is about remembering, and it's about honoring. And if there are people that we want to remember and honor, that we encourage those people to come out and join us. So kids are welcome to come in, or encouraged actually probably to come out, but are there children that do stay overnight? Yeah, it's a big deal to a lot of kids. And you know, we do have entire youth teams, just teams made up of, you know, middle school kids or high school kids, and this is going to be their project. Well, that's a good, healthy activity for them. Oh, yeah, it is. And, you know, we try to do things all night. We do what are called the midnight games, and this year we're going to call it Relay Olympics. So every hour we're going to have some events in the middle of the track on the field, and, you know, just encourage everyone to be involved all the time. Yeah, that would be exciting, especially for those middle schoolers and high schoolers. Yeah, it sounds like fun. All right. So, and this happens June 25th and 26th, which is that a Thursday and a Friday? It's a Friday, Saturday. Friday, Saturday, okay. Yeah. And Black Hills High School, so people watching can come out the 25th and 26th of June. Also get more information on the website. Again, that's relayforlifeofthurston.org. So I bet that's a sight to see with all those campsites and. It's really a festival. It becomes a real kind of mesh of fundraising and a reason for being there, but also a really wonderful community event. And sometimes it's hard to remember whether or not you're at Relay or Lake Fair. So there's probably also booths with information, or so can you tell me a little bit about what else you'll find as far as the information booth? Right. I mean, one of the things that we do with the event is we want to raise awareness. So when you look at one of the principles of what we're raising money for with the relay is education and awareness, because we want people to know how to prevent cancer. Cancer is by far one of the most preventable diseases in the world, and so it's a great opportunity for us to take people who are passionate about relay and passionate about the issue of cancer, and get them information about even simple things as putting sunscreen on while you're out there for 24 hours. Well, that's a good thing. You're right. Probably have people handing out sunscreen or?
Oh
or
yeah,
just having
we hand out
with them?
sunscreen,
Yeah.
and we've seen people dress up as fruits or vegetables and walk around to talk about the importance of getting different vitamins and how they can be cancer fighting. It's a great way to reach people on all different kinds of levels to talk about prevention and detection, and encouraging us to talk intelligently about cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the big things that the money that we raise for Relay does is, things here to do that, and raising awareness, and finding ways to reach people on a local level.
Yeah, and so I know we were talking about the local impact that this fundraiser will have. You guys try to get out education and research, and then patient services.
Yeah.
You have a organization at the Western Washington Oncology.
Right.
Where you have a
Western
branch
Washington
there.
Oncology is an outpatient clinic for people who are going in to get chemotherapy treatment. And one of the things that we do with our Relay dollars is fund a cancer resource center there at the clinic. So people can go in while they're getting treatment. And if they want to find out more about some of the programs that our Relay dollars and the American Cancer Society funds, they're there for that. Whether a lot of people come into Olympia into Thurston County to get treatment from other places. And one of the things the American Cancer Society does is fund a Road to Recovery program that actually connects people to rides. There are volunteers that drive people to treatment. So the American Cancer Society actually funds a toll-free number that's available 24 hours a day. So if someone's calling from Lewis County and they have to come into Western Washington Oncology for treatment, they'll connect them to some of the volunteers here in the county that drive people back and forth. We fund different classes for especially women who are going through cancer treatment and through chemo, just to find new ways to put on makeup, and how to feel beautiful when they're going through what can often be a very traumatic time. And we have those volunteers right here in Thurston County, and that's really exciting when I've met somebody who's gone to one of those classes. So
these are volunteers for the American Cancer Society, and they're local volunteers.
Yeah.
So if somebody out there is watching that needs some of these services, or just needs some more information about these services, what would they do?
Well, if you want information about patient services, or you want to talk to somebody about cancer, you can always call the 800 number, which is 1-800-ACS-2345.
Okay, and will that be a national office, and then they will redirect to local?
Someone will answer the phone at the call center in Austin, and those are oftentimes volunteers. And they navigate people through a big web of information. But oftentimes, how that ends is, if you're interested in a service or you're interested in getting involved locally, they'll connect you to the right person, give that information to you about who to contact locally, whether you're interested in being a road driver for the Road Recovery Program, or you want to get involved in a Look Good, Feel Better class. Those are the people to call. They are definitely the experts on everything we do nationally and locally.
So if people want to volunteer themselves, they will call that.
That'd be the way to go. Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, I love that your website has the amount raised at the very top.
Yeah.
And it has the date there. Again, that's relayforlifeofthurston.org. So far, 61,000?
61,000 and counting. Our
Since,
goal this year is about $350,000.
Okay. And that was since February when you did your kickoff.
We did a kickoff. Now, there's been people out there that have been fundraising since the last relay ended in June, but that's where we're at right now. If you go to the website, and you are interested in getting involved, you can sign up right there, and it develops your own personal web page, and actually gives you things like a Facebook application. You can add it to your Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Someone can donate to the particular event you're involved in right there and click on it.
Oh, well, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, and so in February, you had your kickoff, and that's what you, every year, I guess nationally, is it the kickoff is a national thing? Does it happen?
Well, I mean, kickoffs every year we do it after Christmas.
Okay.
So,
It
people.
might not be in February, but it's just after Christmas.
January, February. Definitely kicking it off for the summer. We want to get geared up. There are people excited. There are people we want to talk to. So we have a big event. getting everybody together that had been involved before and ask them to bring some people who had never been involved and, tell them why we are crazy enough to love going out there all night involved in Relay for Life.
Well, we actually were at your last kickoff in February. And so we're going to show our viewers a little video we put together from that kickoff.
Okay.
So let's watch that.
I'm Catherine Hernandez for Mission Nonprofit, and I'm here with Al Stickland, and he's the event chair for the Relay for Life for the American Cancer Society. And Al, can you tell us how you got involved and why this is so important to you?
Well, back when my son was 13 years old in 1991, he was diagnosed with osteogenic sarcoma, which is a rare bone cancer. And he is a survivor thanks to the treatments that have been discovered through the American Cancer Society, and so this is our little way of giving back. As a matter of fact, my son is our team development chair, so it's something that we do together.
I'm here with David Stickland, and he's with the team development team. And what does the team development team do?
Well, basically what we're here to do is support all the people who want to come out and make Relay for Life their passion. So if people want to come out and they do fundraising, or they want to find ways to get their friends together, start a team, if there's businesses who want to support Relay, our job is to make sure they feel supported, they have all the information they need, and to make sure they can help us win the battle against cancer.
What's going on tonight? Why are all these people here?
Well, tonight is the kickoff for the 2010 Thurston Relay. This is the time when we all get together and we, get pumped up to get our fundraising started for 2010. Last year we were able to raise over $305,000, in this county. So a pretty significant event.
Well, I'm here with Cami Feek, and she is the committee chair for the Survivor Subcommittee. And Cami, how did you get involved with the Relay for Life?
I was on a relay team last year. I'm also a survivor, and our team captain asked me to also be involved with the survivorship, which I was really excited to do because it's really important to me.
So are you really looking forward to the event?
I'm really looking forward to the event. It's a blast, but I think more than that this year, I'm having an opportunity to participate in really celebrating survivors and coming up with some extra special events for them to get them connected with each other and to be able to celebrate that they are survivors. And I think that's going to add a little something extra for me this year.
I'm here with Doug Mielitz, and he is the sponsorship chair. And Doug, can you tell us more about your role in this event tonight?
Sure. We're just here representing the sponsorship committee, subcommittee, and our role is to get out in the community and talk to businesses about sponsorship for the event. Great opportunities for companies to get their name out there and be attached to Relay for Life as the event, but also ACS as a whole. And tonight we just wanted to be here with our teammates and get a little bit of exposure, because a lot of folks that come here that are parts of teams have a relationship either at their work or with their families that know somebody that's a business owner and that would like to get some exposure.
So local businesses should maybe come down and see how they can get involved?
Well, the great thing about Relay is that if people see that a business sponsors Relay or donates to Relay, they're more apt to use that business or service. So it's a great way to not only support obviously a great cause, but also a good way to develop business as well.
I'm here with Sherry Beaupre, and she is the advocacy chair at the Relay for Life. And what are you doing here tonight?
Mainly what I'm doing tonight is trying to recruit people to become members of ACS CAN, which stands for Cancer Action Network. And it's the political side of cancer. It gives survivors and family members and people suffering with this disease a voice. It helps them get the politicians involved in the fight against cancer. It costs $10 to join, and it's a yearly membership. And it just lets you voice your opinion. It lets you talk to your legislators. ACS CAN is a nonprofit group, and we have a little bit more power than if we were trying to do it on our own. So we get together as a group and we try and influence the legislature to fight cancer with us.
Right, well, you're doing a really important role, and I'm sure it makes a difference in the community.
We're trying our hardest, and we also try and get them to increase the funding in the fight against cancer, more testing, more services for cancer survivors and people suffering from the disease, and that's what I'm doing here.
All right, well, thanks so much for talking to us tonight. Appreciate it.
Dr. Gordy Klatt got this started up in Tacoma. He started the race around the University of Puget Sound, I believe, and started the run all by himself and got his friends and family to come out, raised quite a bit of money, and from then it just blossomed into the largest fundraiser for cancer research in the world.
Well, we've had a great time at the event. Back to you in the studio, Robert.
Welcome back to Mission Nonprofit. If you're just joining us, our guest tonight is the Relay for Life of the American Cancer Society. With me is David Stickland. And David, all of those people we saw are volunteers.
Yeah.
How many volunteers are there on the chair of the committee?
There's about 16 this year. So, I mean, someone's taking care of everything from like doing events for survivors to putting together teams or making sure there's enough enough power at the event. So, yeah, there's about 16 of us.
And again, we mentioned that so far, $61,000 you guys have raised this year since the kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that money goes straight to the American Cancer Society. What are some of the things that the American Cancer Society does with that money?
Sure. The American Cancer Society kind of focuses on four things: be research, education, advocacy, and patient programs. And we talked a little bit about some of the patient programs in Thurston County. Mm-hmm. One of the neat things the American Cancer Society does is they fund researchers, but they fund them a lot of times when they're starting out. So we actually give away over $10 million of that research money in the state of Washington. So every year there's an opportunity to go up to Seattle and sit in while they award the research money to different researchers at, UW or Fred Hutch, and they get to talk a little bit about what they do with the money. And so far, we've done really great things like discover early detection opportunities for colorectal cancers and new interesting ways to attack cancer in the body, like the gamma knife that they're using up in Seattle, which is a very non-invasive use of radiation to specifically target cancer. So the research that's being done is always as innovative as it could be. But if you look at a stack of research like this, that we're still only funding as the largest funder of nonprofit cancer research in the country, that much of it. So we do still have quite a ways to go. There's great opportunities out there to do more. And as much progress as we're making, there's always new and exciting ways we could be doing more stuff. And that's one of the reasons that, I'm so passionate about what we do with the Relay for Life.
There's probably everybody out there probably has been affected by cancer in some way, known somebody, and I think for some people it is a scary thing to think about. But all of those new advances in research kind of give them hope, and so the gamma knife is one of those new breakthroughs in the research. And are there any other new developments that kind of can give people hope out there?
Well, they're definitely coming up with new ways to screen for cancer, whether it's on a human genome level or you're looking at different tests that you can do with your doctor. Men should be getting simple PSA tests if they can through their insurance, and getting screened when they turn 45 to 50 for major cancers like colorectal cancer and prostate cancer. So a lot of that exciting research is being done to keep us from ever having to end up hearing the words that we have cancer. So, it's a lot of stuff on the other end of where we are and how we're going forward. it's exciting stuff.
And that's the part where the education comes in.
Right.
Is letting people know about these early detection.
Right. And in education, not only of people who, how to talk to their doctors, but also education for doctors and what new things are available and how research is being presented. So the American Cancer Society is one of those trusted names, and if you know an oncologist or you go into an oncology clinic, chances are our materials are some of the things that people are going to come out with or that are consulted. A lot of the education side, people think about pamphlets that they get, and those are all important, but it's also the education that doctors need to make really informed choices for their patients.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys had an event just a couple of months ago with the Survivors Brunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did that go?
It was great. It was actually put together by our Survivors Committee. A group of volunteers decided to have a brunch at the VFW in Olympia, and there was over 110 people there.
Nice.
We had food that was all cooked by the committee, and there was the Pointless Sisters who were there doing singing for the group, and it was a real great opportunity for us to reach out to survivors, say thank you for keeping us going, but also to give them some of that information and make sure they knew how to get a hold of the American Cancer Society, how to be involved in Relay. We wanted to make sure they were personally invited out to our Survivor Lap if they had never been out to a Relay, so they could get that purple shirt and
Get the purple shirt.
have some cake and
there's
enjoy
cake.
the
You
event.
didn't mention the cake.
Yeah, there's definitely. Yeah, so it's a celebration, and we wanted to start that off. And there were a lot of survivors who had never had an opportunity to come out to Relay. This was a really great way to reach them early and talk to them about what we want to do. We definitely want to do more events for survivors in the community outside of just one brunch or Relay. We want, that's why we Relay, so we want to make sure we're doing those things as often as we can.
Now, there's another event coming up this month on the 21st and 22nd. That's the Color of the County Purple weekend. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, the 21st and 22nd is a Friday, Saturday.
Okay, Friday, Saturday.
And what we do with Color of the County is we want that to be our, we're coming down the home stretch moment. We're asking people in the community who are getting involved to put purple out. That's the signature color of the Relay for Life. Is we want to see the power of purple in as many businesses as we can, whether it's wrapping things up in purple ribbon or changing the lights out to purple lights, or maybe even on a casual Friday allowing your employees to wear some purple or their Relay shirts from years past, and just show that there's a lot of people behind this event.
Good.
And then Saturday, if you're out in the community, that's the day we're really going to make sure we're all out washing cars and having garage sales and doing that last bit of fundraising we can before the event in June.
Okay.
And it's just a great way for people to pick up that last opportunity to get involved.
All right, well, we have to wrap it up. I just want to mention out there in TV land, it's June 25th and 26th is the Relay for Life, so come out and be inspired. For Mission Nonprofit, I'm Robert Kam. We're going to see you next month. Thanks for watching. If you know of a local nonprofit organization that's making a difference in our area, give us a call at 956-3100 extension 103 or send an email to rkam@tctv.net.